Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Triple N Media. I am NIK NIKAM. Today we're going to look at the price action on March 8, 2021 and see where we stand. As you recall, on March 5th, 2021, we had a nice bullish move on Friday. Slow stochastic had reached almost 95% here. And similarly, the MACD had shown convergence of these moving averages. And along with that, the RSI was also at the 70% overbought level. Of course, I trade TQQQ. Obviously, I had like 1,200 shares. I bought $80 covered calls because I expected the wave to go down. If this is either wave 1 of a new trend or an ABC correction of the final C wave, which I will come back and show what I mean, then I expected this to go down. So that's what happened in my case because at least I didn't lose the entire amount. I lost maybe 1/3 of it. Okay, let us analyze this and see what is going on. As I said, this was a 5-wave move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here I expected a correction, early morning jitters, and after that it's set on a expected zigzag correction. That's what I think, because first of all, it took longer period to reach the same price level than it did for the stock to go up. So this was an impulsive wave and this is a correction. We started off with the very high stochastic, and it in fact crossed the Bollinger Bands, in fact crossed the line here. The short-term Bollinger, the MACD line crossed the signal here, and obviously we saw these bars changing to the negative side, and along with that the RSI continued a downward drift throughout the day. Trading, if you want to be in this market at the beginning of the day, the only option would have been to buy an ultra short ETF like SQQ or any other ones that would have helped you to get a pretty good gain in this downward deflection. On the other hand, the Dow was up to 600 points, and it came down to like 306 before the market closed. So looking at these parameters now, as I said, there was only one opportunity, and that is either you sell the stock short, or you buy puts, or you can buy ultra short ETF like SQQ QID and recover some of your loss during the day. But as I said, I had covered it on Friday, so I just lost maybe 1/3 of the total drop in the price. And here is the final result. QQQ, it opened at 308.12 and it closed at 299.94, losing $8.74. So the day's range was to 299.51, which closed almost at the bottom of the price, and it was as high as 310.06. So looking at this, I feel like the correction is not completely over from my estimation. I mean, I could be wrong. This is not a professional advice. This is just education. This is just an interpretation, technical interpretation of the price chart for educational purpose. So let us bring up the entire picture here. Let's go to 60 minutes and look for 1 month. This is February 16. That's when the whole downward drift, downward bloodbath, if you want to call it, started. Then we had here, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was A. Then this is A, B, C. That is B. And this is the C wave. And what we saw today was similar to what we saw here, A, B, C. So we're seeing A, B. So this is the B of the C wave, because here's 1, 2, 3, A, B. Let me put this one to the side here. So here we have A, B, and we probably will see a positive deflection if the charts are right. We go to C, and from there we expect the final wave 5 of the C wave of this major correction that we have seen since February. And looking at the stochastic, it hasn't reached all the way. It is right now at 33%, so it hasn't even reached the entire bottom. So you cannot be sure that you have reached the bottom. However, the Bollinger Bands have crossed a little bit, but it is coming down, but until it has a turn up to say that we are going to see a change. But the RSI seems to be at the oversold position of 30%. So this indicator is not showing, and let's see if we go to 30 minutes here and see what the deal is. Okay, at 30-minute interval, all these indicators pretty much look good, except this hasn't crossed the line yet, and this is all the way at the bottom. Again, we want the green line to cross the yellow line, the short term to cross the long term, longer duration averages, and that's when you expect this one to go. But a couple of things about the characteristics of the Elliott waves. A is an impulsive wave, so it took much shorter time to reach the peak, as opposed to B, which is more complex, and it has A, B, C, 3 different parts, and obviously it took the entire 6.5 hours to reach a price which is less than what was covered in this period. So tomorrow, I mean, it is my speculation, we could see a very brisk upstroke if the Elliott wave theory is correct, just as we saw with the A here, and hopefully we would recover a lot of this thing. But when we reach the completion of the C wave, that's when I guess we have to decide, are we going to take the profit and sit on the sidelines, or let it ride all the way down? Then if it does, it has potential to go below this level of QQQ, which was at 299. It was 298 when it reached the bottom on Friday, and it may go way below that, and the next support line I think is 292. So let's see what happens, and that's my interpretation. I could be totally wrong. What is your interpretation, and how did you trade today? Did it help you? I'm not trying to get in and out of the market like every 5 minutes, because I like to follow an intermediate trend, not hold the stock for years, but intermediate trend like here. And I could have bought SQQ, which I trade, but I'm changing over to QQQ instead of TQQQ, because the spread there is too much to make some meaningful moves. Well, if I switch over to QQQ, then I can, let's say I buy 500 shares of QQQ, I can always cover it with covered calls, which I will make a video about how to use covered calls to have a slow but steady revenue trading QQQ. There are several reasons I would like to trade QQQ, because it's extreme volume. If you look at the volume here, no other stocks comes close. 86 million shares. Same thing with the options also. If you look at the options that are traded on QQQ, the spread is like 2 to 6 cents. So you don't lose much, and you can very quickly buy and sell options. So this is my approach. I hope this has been useful to you, and please do subscribe to my channel, and hopefully every day we'll bring you an update and look at buying or selling opportunities on an intermediate level. As I said, there was only one place where we could have made a trade, and that was here when all these three indices were suggesting a sort of a overbought situation. And if you had shorted the stock, or if you had brought the pro puts, or if we had covered the calls, or if we had brought the ultra ETF. So there are multiple vehicles available in QQQ. That's why I think QQQ is a great way to trade on an intermediate basis and protect yourself. It's like having a protected environment around you. You wear a mask so you don't get COVID. So you sell calls. Yes, the profit will be less than what you get, but if we are wrong on the point of entry, at least we are not losing our shirt. I mean, that's my approach. And we will see you again next time.